Yeah, so today it is some cosmetic surgery day. So what we're gonna do, I don't know if you can see this very well, I've got a ton of light out here, which is normally a good thing, but I'm not sure what we're gonna see. But if you look down the bottom here, you can see all these scuffs on these plates at the bottom. And they're on both sides that way, and they've been that way since I got the car. You see that one's got a really nice gash in it there. So I didn't want to spend the money to replace them, and then I just kind of decided I did. So I've got those ready to go, and they're going on. But first of all, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to strip wash the front, and I'll show you that because I've got a few chips on here. I'm going to do some touch up. So I tried to do pink here. Let's see if I can get out of the shadows. So if you look down there, a little pink circle there. I mean, really, there's very little in the way of chips on here, but I'm gonna compound polish, and then we're gonna fix these chips up and try to use a cool method to get that done. So that's what's coming up. Hang tight, let's get the job done. This is how we're gonna prep the paint, or the clear coat, I guess, for the compound polishing stage. So first of all, we have a strip wax kind of shampoo, which takes off all any old sealant you have on there to make sure you're just dealing with the clear coat before you start going away at it. Then you can lube it with the clay luber to get the clay bar on there, and again draw out any imperfections that have been embedded into the clear coat. And then finally, before we go after it, we've got the eraser, which will spray on, rub down the surface one last time before we go about compounding and polishing. And I think, and I'll try and do as best I can to show you the swirl marks that are on the car. It's either really hard clear coat because there's not a lot on there, or it's been done in the not too distant past and therefore the paint's in really great shape. Either way, I'll try and show you that, and then we'll do a half and half or a quarter panel stuff so we can really show you the differences. So next up, I'm gonna lube it. No need to dry the car. I gave it 2 rounds of the wash, and now we're gonna lube it up with the clay luber and rub it all down with this, and then use the eraser to get any last minute particles on the car. this last step. I'm gonna put down some eraser to get any last goop off of the car. We might wipe it down with a microfiber towel, and then we'll dry it off and get ready to remove those bottom plates, get the compound and polish. So here's the existing skid plate. Let's see if you can see that here. Pretty big gash in the unit. While it's still protecting the body here, it needs to be replaced. And it's collected by these little odd pushy things. So you just push up the center stalk like this and try and keep a track of them, because if you want to reuse them, because nobody sent me new ones when I got the new pieces, so thankfully a couple of these have fallen straight down, so we should be in a good spot. Oh, that one didn't come. Okay, so those are out, so that should allow these little expander, I don't even know what they're called, somebody will know and stick in the comments for me, but see how they just kind of drop out now? You just kind of pull down, they're not hanging on anymore. I'll show you one up close here. Get this bad boy out. So you see that, how they have this ability to spread, so you can close them in to get them in the hole, drop up the stalk in the middle, it opens up and that allows it some grab. Let's get this last one up here. Well, that one I didn't get all the way out, but we'll get it in a second. So you can see it still hangs on pretty tight because it's got the adhesive on here, so that's going to require some cleanup. That's fine. 3M, that's some great 3M adhesive remover. All right, I heard the stalk come back to me. There you go. Got that. And I'll get that out in a minute. So more adhesive over here. You can kind of hear it peeling up. And on the front. Come on, you little bugger. Sorry, you got a lot of hairy arm there, aren't you? All right, come on, baby. And then, oh, lots of rocks coming down. And the sweet release. And that was that one. Other side, same procedure. And then if you look up here now, you can see here are the two holes where the stalks go in. And then I'll clean all this up, because you know me, I'll keep it clean. And this, I'll show you the adhesive remover, and hopefully it'll just come right up, and then we'll get this cleaned up and get to the compound. Compounding today will be the Bigfoot with a 15mm throw, as it's known, and I think it's a 5-inch backing plate on this guy. And we're going to try out a couple of microfiber polishing pads. This one's from Meguiar's. This one is from Rupes, if I'm not mistaken. See a lot more room there for clearing out dust and heat dispersion. And then I'm going to try this. This is, generally speaking, works really well with the microfibers, and potentially could be used as a single stage, so I don't have to do it twice. Now, we'll see whether that shakes out or not. More importantly to me is, first of all, getting out the imperfections, and then we'll worry about polishing it up thereafter. So here we are, fully naked paint, for want of a better term. I'm just gonna try and see if I can slowly move around, get any of these swirls. Like I said, it is far from in terrible shape. It's white paint, really makes things friendly. So I'm not sure what you're going to see. We'll try and do a 50-50 when we're compounding too, to see if you can get a sense of the gloss differential, because even if you don't see the spider webs on here, like I said, great shape, you should be able to see the difference in the sheen, and then obviously that's one of the areas to touch up. So like I think I was saying before, there's just the tiniest little micro abrasions left. So I didn't have the finishing pad I thought I did. So this is a Hex Logic from Chemical Guys, and so I thought I'd use their finishing polish with it too, since presumably leads to better results. So we'll put 4 dots on. We'll go over this and see if we can't get a little bit closer to perfection. So one of the things technically, you know, it's counterintuitive initially, but you really don't put any pressure here. This is simply a guide. And you can see these markings I put on there. If they're not moving, you're probably pushing down too hard and the machine's just basically not doing anything for you. So make sure you have a sense that this is free spinning to the extent possible. That's how it's doing its work. And you should be in a good spot. So let's clean this up and see how it looks. A little bit more isopropyl alcohol on here. Make sure we get everything up. All right, let's go in a little closer. Let's see what we can see. So I've taken back the tape here. Let's see if there's any, you can make anything out. This light's not perfect, but as we cross over, this is the untreated side. This is the treated side. This is the hardest part of the task, is trying to pick anything up. But I'm seeing swirls and spider webs as I examine over here. Hopefully they come up on the camera. And over here, I don't see anything. I just see smooth paint, feels really smooth. Then we've got a couple of little chips that have kind of come out of that will fill in the touch-up phase. All right, so that's the correction on the front of the car. Basically just did the mirrors forward on this one, because the rest of the car's in really good, the paint's in really good shape. And then you can see here where along the way you get a little bit closer to where the chips are, and not too unpredictably the majority of the trouble spots are basically right in the mouth. And then there's a couple more those that we identified earlier. and a tiny one up top. So I think what I'm going to do today is I'm going to finish up putting on the skid pads down there, and then we will do a touch-up video sometime in the very near future. So this is one of the replacement skid pieces. I told you, you see those cracked in the corner. This one's pristine, just like the other side. And it looks like pretty easy install in terms of 2 notches, one here, one here. I would assume 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts or nuts of some description. And then you've got what I'm guessing is some pretty powerful adhesive 3M tape all around the edges to hug it up to the body. All right, so here are the new pieces. As you can see, it's identical OEM, so hopefully no worries about fitment here. And then you've got all these 3M, I say 3M, I don't know what they are, adhesives, strips. And then our 4 holes that had the, whatever these cool little fastener gidgets are called. Comments below, prizes, egg prizes, if you can tell me what they're called. To help worrying about the adhesive anymore. I'll regret that later, no doubt. Let's see if we can get at least close to where it wants to be. These, I'm gonna use these. Why I want you to reach around there. Well, that's nowhere near. Disappointing. Alright, let's try this gut further again. This would be easier with another set of hands, but my other set of hands didn't really want to play, so just do it by myself. Let's try again. I don't know why. What do they say? The definition of madness is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Well, here I go. Alright, so those 2 are kind of on. Let's look up top here. Let's see. That one's up. That one's up. Not bad. Alrighty. What do you say, Granddad? Job's a good one? Push those all in there. Take you for the wide shots. And there we go. Got our fangs back on. Man, that looks so much better.